A turriculous lively on view this, queer, and it continues to be quickie. A hatch, a silk, and ear share the purpose of which was to cassay the earth crust at all of ours, forwards, baggerwards, like Yoxon at the turnpike. Here say figurines its knowledge that finds the name form, that wets the wits, that convey contacts, that sweetens sensation, that drives desire, that adheres to attachment, that dogs death, that bitches birth, that entails the ensuance of existentiality. But, with a rush out of his navel, reaching the rear dose of Ramazban. A turriculous lively on view this, queer, and it continues to be quickie. A hatch, a silk, and ear share the purpose of which was to cassay the earth crust at all of ours, forwards, baggerwards, like Yoxon at the turnpike. Here say figurines Billycoos arming and mounting and arming Billycoos figurines, see here. Football. This little F&G is for a fire thing called a flint football. Face at the east, oh I fay. Face at the waist, oh you fie. Up, and dump 'em. Face to face. Narrator note. The capital F's of the two faces are rotated 90 degrees right and left, so they are in fact lying down. End of narrator note. When a part soaked tea does duty for the hollow, we soon grow to use of an all for it. Here, peas to stoop, are silver and hued petite peas of quite a peculiar interest in as little as they are the pellets that make the tom-tommies payroll. Right rank Ragnar rocks, and with these rocks wrangled, wrangled rough and right go wrong. Wish I did that. Thick his for pawn, that fuck and his toil like tomfools straight across for vengeance. What a nice old mess it all makes. A midden-hide horde of objects. Olives, beets, Kimmels, dollies, Alfreds, Beaties, Cormacs, and Dalton. Owlets eeks, oh stooped peas are here, creakish from age and all now quite exiting. And old Waldy wobble yours, hard with a wipe of grass. See the snake worms every side. Our Durlbin is swarming in snakes. They came to our island from triangular Trutchertail, beyond the wet prairie, reared up in the midst of a cargan of prohibited permafrost, with a long-landed Paddy whipping them, and his garbage cans cotched the creaks of them, quicker than our who's their out of man could quicker for what's that. Some divide and some the lot, but the Paddy turns round the same valley fuel. Racketeers and bottle loggers. Axe on thwacks on tracks, axe and wise. One by one takes 1 be 3 before and 1 before. 2 nurses, 1 make a plausible 3 and item behind. Starting off with a big boar and 3-legged carvers, and ivor grain jadesses with a message in their mouths. And 100 filled on 11 weights of liberorum cute economy can, till all horrors ease. What a Neanderthal-tailed one fur, and with what an end in view of swatter, and anti-swatter, and post-prawn anti-swatter. To say to us, to be every Tim, Mick, and Larry of us, sons of the sod, sons, little sons, yea, and ye little sons, when us is not to be every Sue, Sis, and Sally of us, doctors of Nan, accusative ansire, damaran to infinity. True there was in Illo's Yebos, as yet no lump and papier in the waste, and might mountain pens still grown for the mices to let free. All with an infantry. You gave me a boot, signs on it, and I ate the win. I quizzed you a quid with for what, and you went to the quad. But the world mind is, was, and will be writing its own runes forever, man, on all matters that fall under the ban of our inter-rational senses. For the last milch camel, the heart vein throbbing between his eyebrows, has still to moor before the tomb of his cousin Charmian, where his date is tethered by the palm of her. But the horn, the drinking, the day of bread are not now. A bone, a pebble, a ram skin. Chip them, chop them, cut them up always, leave them to terror cook in the muttering pot. And Guten Morg, with his Cro-Magnum charter, hinting fast, and great primer, not once for omnibus, step rubric read out of the word press, else is there no virtue more in alcohol. For that, the rapt one warns, is what papyrus made of, hides and hints and misses in print, till you finally do not yet end like meet with the acquaintance of Mr. Titus, Mistress Pope, and all the little tip-toppies. Fill stop. So you need hardly spell me how every word will be bound over to carry 70 top tipsical readings throughout the book of Dublin's Join. May his forehead be darkened with mud, who would sunder, till Dalet, Mahoma, who oped it, closeth thereof, door. Cry not yet. There's many a smile on them, with city maids for manser, and the park so dark by kindle light. But look what you have in your hands, Helen. The movables are sprawling in motion, marching, all of them go in pick-pat and zing-zang, for every busy earwig's a bit of a Tory tale to tell. One's upon a time, and two's behind their lettuce leaf, and three's among the strubbly beds. And the chicks pick their teeth, and the donkey he began again. You can ask your rat if he believes it, and so Curry only wallop that eve. That one of a wife with faulty barnets, but then was the age when hoops ran high. Of a Noach and a chop wife, of a pomful grave and a family of levity, or of golden ewes that wanted gelding, or of what the mischiefness made a man do. Mal marry lad, he was reversal gassed by the frisk of her frasks and her pretty pirick. May say she's like gay, this snaky woman, from that trippier to expectant pellic. Veil, Valentine eyes, she's the very best Winnie blows nay on good. Flew in, flew on, ho. So it's sure it was her, not we. But lay easy, gentlemen, we are in rearing of a Norway, so weeny, teeny. Come, listen, and whistle you. Listen, I am doing it. Hark, the corn and drip, and the lark notes brittle. It was of a night late, lang time agone, in an all-stained eld. Listen, I am doing it. Hark, the corn and drip, and the lark notes brittle. It was of a night late, lang time agone, in an all-stained eld, when Adam was delving, and his madamine spinning water silk, when Mulk Mounty Naughty Man was everybody, and the first lead river robber that ever had her own way, everybody to his love-staking eyes, and every Billy lived the love with everybody else, and Jarl Van Hooter had his burnt head high up in his lamp house, laying cold hands on himself. And his two little Jiminy's cousins of own, Christopher and Hilary, were kick-a-heeling their dummy on the oil-trough floor of his home castle and Earthman house. And Bijon, who come to the keep of his inn, only the niece of his in-law, the Frank Queen. And the Frank Queen pulled a rosy one, and made her wit furnace to the door, and she lit up, and fireland with a blaze. And spoke she to the door in her petty Peruvian, mark the one, why do I am a looking like a posset porter peas? And that was how the skirmishes began. But the door, and worded her grace in Dooch, Nassau, shut. So her grace of Alice kid snapped off the Jiminy Christopher, and into the shandy westerner she rain. And Jarl Van Hooter, warless after her with soft dog's call, stop, thief, stop, come back to my ear and stop. But she swallowed into him, unlikelihood. And there was a bran aware that same Sabbath night of falling angles somewhere in Ario. And the Frank Queen went for her 40 years walk in Tour Le Mans, and she washed the blessings of the love spot off the Jiminy with soap Oliver Suddles, and she had her 4 Owlers masters for the torch in his tickles, and she converted him to the one sure all good, and he became a looter man. So then she started to rain, and be red Tom, she was back again at Jarl Van Hooter in a brace of sailor, and the Jiminy with her in her pinafron, laced nice at another time. And where did she come but to the bar of his distillery? And Jarl Van Hooter had his Bertala bruised heels, drowned in his cellar moth, shaking warm hands with himself, and the Jiminy Hillary and the dummy in their first infancy were below on the tear sheet, ringing and coughing like brother and sister. And the Frank Queen nipped a paly one, and lit up again, and red cocks flew flattering from the hill top. Then she made her witter before the wicked, saying, "Mark that why do I am a looking like 2 pots of porter peas?" And "Shut," says the wicked, and whirring her majesty. So her majesty a fought, set down a Jiminy and took up a Jiminy, and all the lily path ways to woman's land. She rained. And Jarl von Hooter bleated at her with a loud fine gale, "Stop, Dom, stop, come back with my earrings, stop." But the Frank Queen swallowed it, "I'm liking it." And there was a wild old grand wail that Lawrence night of star shooting somewhere in Aereo. And the Frank Queen went for her 40 years' walk in Tournament, and she punched the curses of Crom Cruel with the nail of a top into the Jiminy, and she had her 4 larksical monatrix to touch him his tears, and she provorted him to the one certain all secure, and he became a Christian. So then she started raining, and in a pair of changers beyond her she was back again at Jarl von Hooter's, and the Larry Hill with her under her Abraham. And why would she halt at all if not by the ward of his mansion home of another nice place for the third charm? And Jarl von Hooter had his hurricane hips up to his pantry box, ruminating in his old horse stomach, there, oh there. And the Jiminy topper trees and the dummy were below on the water clock, hissing and spitting and roguing and poguing like knave paltry and naive bride, and in their second infancy. And the Frank Queen picked a blank and lit up, and the valleys lay twinkling. And she made her witters in front of the archway of Triton, asking, "Mark the tryst, why do I am a looking like 3 pots of porter peas?" But that was how the skirmishes end up. For like the Campbells are coming with a 4th lance of lightning, Jarl von Hooterbone urges himself, the old terror of the Danes, came hip-hop handicap out through the pike-opened archway of his 3 Shuttons castle, in his broad ginger hat, and his civic collar, and his alabuff hem, and his bull-bragging socks and gloves, and his Ladbroke breeks, and his tacklet bandolier, and his fur-framed furuncular combat, like a rudyell and groovy orange man in his violet indigo nation, to the whole length of the strength of his bowman's bill. And he clopped his rude hand to his easy hitch, and he ordered, and his 6-foot sput for her to shut up shop dappy. And the duppy shot the shutter clock. For called Husker and Bargurai, Gorley or Grum, Grenade, Gunda, Thomathon, or Dilly, Fatally, Bumble, and Knockin', and they all drank free. The one man in his armour with a fat match always for any girl's undershirt. And that was the first piece of alliterative pottery in all the flamin' floody flatuous world. How Kersey the Tyler made a sweet unclosed of an Arwelian captain. So 4 shalt thou see, between thee and thee. The Frank Queen was to hold her dummy ship, and the Jiminy's was to keep the peace wave, and Van Hooter was to keep the window. Thus the hearsomeness of the burger felicitates the whole of the polis. O Phoenix culprit, ex nihilo malo comes Michaelmas bonum. Hill, rill, ones in company, billeted, lest be proud of, breast high and destroy. Only for that these will not breathe upon Noronison or Irenian, the secrest of their Stostolotna. Porisilex, Omfrey no answer. Undigention festini, Livia no answer. Welcome patted on him, frowned. Or the Urient he would eavesdrip, were it mouse at hand, were it din of bottles in the far ear. Must his days are darkling. With lips she lifteth to him all the time a touch on touch, and so on so. She fought, she tried to laugh. Herr Fluch, if he could but twig her. Impalpabant he appears. The sound waves are his buffet ears. They tromp him with their trumpets. The wave of roaring, and the wave of whoosh, and the wave of ha-ha-hord, and the wave of never heed them horse lovers and listen to mine. Landlocked by his neighbour mistress, and petrified in his offspring, saves and suckers. The moaning pipers could tell him to his face back. The loudly one whose lobe we are devourers of. How but for his cold halibut. Or her to her powdered cup, the lippet one whose life we drink at. How biff for her tiddy wing of a windfall. Our breed and washer givers, there would not be a holy spire on the town. Nor a vestal flouting in the dock. Nay, to make plain of owls. Nor a you nor an eye to take cash in novo nil but by swamp light. Nor a tool at all. And noddy hint to the conveying. He dug in and dug out by the skill of his tilt, for himself and all belonging to him, and he sweated his crew beneath his auspice of the living, and he earned his bread, that dragon Bolan, and he made louse for us and delivered us to our weevil's domain, that mighty liberator, on Fuchikta Uruwuku, and begad he did our ancestor most worshipful, till he thought of a better one in his windknower's house, with that lush mantle upon him from ear's end to ear's end. And would again could whispering grasses wake him, and may again when the fiery bird disembers, and will again if so be sooth by elder to his younger shall be said. Have you wine for my wedding? Did you bring bride and bidding? Will you whoop for my deading, is it? Wake, Osqueborn, and a muck and drowl. Did you drink me door now? Now be easy, good Mr. Finnemore, sir, and take your leisure like a god on pension, and don't be walking abroad. Sure, you'll only lose yourself in Heliopolis now. The way your roads in Papilavaster are that winding there after the Calvary, the Northumbrian, and the Fitzbarrow, and the Wadling's raid, and the Bower Moor, and wet your feet, maybe, with the foggy dews abroad, meeting some sick old bankrupt, or the Cotterick's donkey with his shoe hanging, clankety-chankety, or a slut snoring with an impure infant on a bench. 'Twould turn you against like so 'twould. And the weather's that mean, too. To part from Devlin is hard, as Nugent knew, to leave between tangles of one lushier than its neighbour, enfranchisable field, but let your ghost have no grief. You're better off, sir, where you are, crime signed in the full of your dress, blood eagle waistcoat and all, remembering your shapes and sizes, on the pillow of your baby curls, under your sycamore by the Teld water, where the Tories' clay will scare the varmint, and have all you want, pouch, gloves, flask, cricket, kerchief, ring and amberella, the whole treasure of the pyre, in the land of souls, with home in, and drawing Baroque, and Pole or Lonan, and Nobuchadnezzar, and the Genghis Khan. And we'll be coming here, the umber players, to rake your gravel, and bringing your presents, won't we, Fenian? And it isn't our spittle we'll stint you of, is it, druids? Not shabby little images, penny dirts and dodge me eyes you buy in the sooty stores, but offerings of the field. Melia Dory's the Dr. Fart is the medicine man, tough to good milk. Poppy pat's the passport out, and honey is the holiest thing ever was. Hive, comb, and earwax, the food for glory. Mind you keep the pot or your nectar cup may yield too light. And some goat's milk, sir, like the maid used to bring you. Your fame is spreading like basilico's ointment, since the Fintan lallers piked you overboard, and the whole household beyond the Bothnian, and they calling names after you. The men here's always talking of you, sitting around on the pig's cheeks under the sacred roof tree, over the bowls of memory, where every hollow hole's a hallow with a pledge till the drains in the salmon house. And admiring to our super shillelagh, where the palm sweat on high is the mark of your manhood. All the toothpicks ever Aranesians chewed on are chipped from that battery block. If you were bowed and soiled and let down itself from the honour of the load, it was that paddy planters might pack up plenty. And when you were undone in every point for the lapse of goddesses, you showed our labour lasses how to free with easy. The game old gun, they do be saying. Skull, that was a planter for you. A spicer of them all. Big God, but he was the D.O.G. He's done and gone now, and we're after finding the sores of his stomach. But peace to his great limbs, the buttock, with the last league-long rest of him, while the million-candle eye of Tostar sweeps the Moylian main. There was never a warlord in Great Erin's and Bretland, no, nor in all Pike County like you, they say. No, nor a king, nor an ard king,